Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the resolutions for 2021. What I'm going to do as a, let's say, business plan for my idea how to earn some money for the next year. Actually, this year, not next year. So, let's start with games. I want to release 3 games. One, of course, is Creepy Mahjong that is nearly done. I'm going to make 2 new games. These 2 new games will be local multiplayer because I like the genre. Also, it's a niche that maybe there is not much game related compared to other type of games. And yes, one of these games will be 64 by 64 Inflated because the core mechanics all there. I already developed 3 levels. So the only thing I have to do is just add new levels, add new graphic, and of course add a little bit mechanics for the new monster or new things that will be in the game. So a little bit of story, but really I'm not starting from scratch. The other game instead is a party game. I already developed this game for the New Year Eve. Actually, with this restriction, people couldn't come to visit, so I couldn't really test it. But I did this game in one day, and after a couple of days ago, I spent again another half an hour, another half day on the game. So one day and a half, I already have a quite a nice prototype of the game. So it'll be very just a party game up to 6 people, local multiplayer, very simple. So we have a 64 by 64 Inflated will be like a game with a story that you can play. A more difficult game, you need to concentrate, really need to cooperate with the other players to go on. You can save the game and keep playing the game again. Why the new game will be more like a party game where you can just play for a few minutes or for 1 hour, doesn't really matter. Every time you play the game, you start the game over. So really doesn't need to have a saving option or anything like that. It will be just for fun. When someone comes to visit you, if even with this restriction, maybe if you just want to play with your family, even if they're not hardcore gamers, they can still play and fun. And therefore, I'm going to catch in this way 2 different kinds of players, still both for local multiplayer. So that's my idea for the games. If I have more time, of course, I can develop more games, but I want to plan too many things ahead because otherwise I can just finish anything. And I want just to stay with my feet on the ground and don't plan too much things that I will never complete. So the other thing I'm going to do is for the medium and long term is releasing 2 new assets. I released already some asset templates. You know, I don't have many of these, but assets are the one that can sell more, and spooky background asset is the one actually that sell more compared to all the other assets and templates together. Of course, the asset that's easier to sell than templates usually because especially this one are 2D assets, they can go with any engine, so it's not really a problem. While the template are focused on a specific engine, therefore you restrict your chance to sell the template. This is in general as a rule of thumbs, but of course it depends case by case. Anyway, going back to the assets, the other template, one of these 2 assets I want to create is based on a spooky background asset. So on this one, of course, I have a background, as the name says, and for the new things I want to add is something the same style. The player can use both in the same game. There will be probably some enemies, maybe character the player can use, but for sure enemies. I don't know if you are going to make another asset as well, including the user interface. At this stage, probably no, but I will see with the time. Probably monsters are the more likely thing they are going to do. And therefore, they can be sold separately or together as a bundle, and therefore increase my chance of selling it and making more money in this way. The other asset I'm going to create is something I haven't planned yet. I will see depending on my mood and what I've done, at which point I am with my games. which time of the year is it, if I freelance work. So I really keep the option open for in this case here. For the template, even for template, I want to create two things, so just two of each, like 2 games, 2 assets, 2 template. I'm not counting the games, Creepy Mahjong, yes, 3 games, but it's already done. So for the template, the first one will be a tool, something like a tool. So probably something that help a developer actually to create something in addition to the game rather than the game itself. So like, for example, a level editor or maybe a shop for the game, something like that. Not really the game mechanic as a core mechanic. And the other thing I'm going to do is the other template. It will be probably game, but even that I will keep my door open. I will see at that time which kind of template there are in the market, which one are more requests. If someone asks me something specific, if many people ask me for a specific type of game, then maybe I can create this kind of template. So I will see at the time of the year. As I said, I will give a priority to the games first, and then I will go on with the asset and template. The good thing, the asset of templates is something that I want to create because first I don't have many, as I said, but also they give income in the medium and long term. So it's once they're done, they might require a minimum maintenance. If it's a template, usually asset don't need to do anything. Sometimes you can just promote here and there, and they just give a revenue. So this is something I want to have because if one day I cannot develop games for a while because something happened, still have a little bit of income from asset and template. So I think it's still good to have. And then I see for the next year what's going on, where I should focus more, which can get of these things bringing me more income, and then I can focus more in one direction compared to the other. But I will leave it open. These for the things that bring money. And of course I will keep developing tutorial, and this is I will finish what I'm having now as a tutorial, the card game. I don't know if I'm going to add another tutorial this year. Probably I could do it, depends how it's going, but I don't want to just promise too many things yet. I will see. And of course, if I get some freelance work, this is going to influence what I'm going to release. So for example, if I get a freelance work where they ask me to develop a complete game, of course it's time that is taken away from the development of my game, and therefore I will count this as a game and not as my game released. But of course it depends on what's I mean, you can get a freelance work like fixing some bugs. It's like 1 or 2 weeks work, maybe something like that. It's not really going to change much the plans, but if it's a big game to develop like the one I did last year, I worked for 4 weeks and a half. Of course, this one is going to influence all my planning. Another thing I want to do, I want to explore new things. For example, I will try to develop 1 or 2 simple game app or something like that, just to testing. My focus is more like a single and local multiplayer game, but in case I get a good job offer, it's better that you know how much time it might cost you to develop this kind of game, and if it's a good money involved, I don't want just to say no, I don't make mobile game. I just want to have a little bit of chance to say maybe I can do it. So it's more for testing. It's not going to give me money now, but it could give me money in the future. And also, if I have time after doing all this, I could explore online multiplayer. Still, again, it's not my main focus, online multiplayer, but something that might be interesting to look into it. And then I've done something with some website that develop it, but I want to see something really in autonomous that I can be managed all by myself. So yeah, I need to see, explore the thing, and I will see. And that's it for 2021. That's my planification. Of course, nothing written in details because I keep myself a little bit flexible, a little bit agile, because we saw last year that suddenly all the words can change and then you need to adapt. So this is my overall idea, what I'm going to do. Probably I will be able to do all of these points here, but you never know. And at the end of this year, we'll see which of these points I could reach, and we'll tell you what are the numbers. And if you have any plan for 2021, if you want to exchange your opinion about what should be better to do, because it's the trend for maybe this period to do these things compared to another, which one is more risky or less, have a comment, put in the comment your idea, your proposal, and then we can discuss together. Okay, then see you again next week, and with a new different topic and good development. Bye.